This is the entire running backs room at the moment. What was it? Was it surreal to you out there doing individual drills by yourself?
Yeah, I just knew not to look around for no help today. Just got my work in today. It was a good conditioning day, put it like that.
What's the fewest number of people you've ever had in your meeting room before?
The fewest number of people. Right now it's kind of weird with everything going on around the league with the numbers and everything that coaches had to do. Probably about today, 4, yeah.
What's it like getting your enemy's attention one-on-one all day long?
Today wasn't that bad. Today was a good day as far as the work that we was able to get, situational stuff. But as far as just working with him, it's good. It's good. The way he coaches, he's real intentional about everything. So it was good to be out there with him one-on-one for real.
Yeah, work that you were able to get on Friday against the Chiefs. How valuable was that? And what did you learn from that? However many snaps that you took?
Yeah, that's real valuable for the offense and for the team in general, especially playing against day ones for a couple series. With that caliber of team, can't replace those reps. You know what I mean? So just being able to go out there and get that kind of game-like feel. We didn't execute how we wanted to from the start, but something to definitely learn from. But it was a good experience, for sure.
That being your first opportunity to run behind the new offensive line in a real game scenario, how did it feel different to you?
It felt good. Something that's going to continue to get better as we go out there every single day and go to work. Excited to play behind them boys.
How do you clean up, like some of the pre-snap issues, like just the sorting things out? They said it's not just on Caleb, so how can the rest of the unit contribute to that?
Just staying focused and staying locked in, one play at a time, and just being able to reset after that previous play and locking on with whatever gets called and getting out the huddle and just being urgent to help everybody out. I mean, help us all.
With those pre-snap issues popping up, where do you feel like this offense is at as a whole, learning this new system and being ready to go for the regular season in less than 2 weeks?
As far as learning the system and everything, I think all the offense is in as far as plays and things like that. But always coming in every day to get better, because that's something that's continued to pop up is the pre-snap stuff and the things before we even. Caleb said hut. So if we eliminate that, I think we'll be where we need to be. But we got to eliminate that type of stuff first.
Ben was talking to you guys about, hey, we can't start slow.
Right.
He sensed it Friday and he sensed it in practices. What's the secret to not doing that?
Not doing it. I can't really speak for everybody. Just gotta be ready to go. You gotta wake up with that mentality, that urgency. You gotta come to work every single day. You gotta wake up that way. So I don't really have an answer for the group. It's just something you gotta continue to work at every single day.
To see him stress it, you think that's important?
100%. Can't play. That's bad ball. You don't want to play bad ball like that, especially with the guys we have, the coaching staff we have. We gotta eliminate all the stuff and just go out there and play. We beating ourselves. It ain't like going out there and they're doing anything to dictate the outcome of stuff. We're doing stuff pre-snap to not even give us a chance. You know what I mean? So just eliminating that stuff, especially before week 1.
Yeah, the first drive last year was usually pretty rough for you guys. Is there any carryover there, or is new staff, new playbook?
Yeah.
It should be completely different.
You said what?
Yeah, you guys weren't very good on the first drive last year.
Talking about during games?
Yeah, during games. Is that anything that carries over from year to year in your experience, or is it?
No, it's different every single year. Man, we play a game in a little over a week. So we'll see how it look.
Some of that pre-snap stuff kind of naturally go away when y'all not kind of thinking through and dealing with the entirety of the playbook, but more condensed version of a week-to-week game plan specific for that team?
You would think so. You would hope so. Because right now everything is up right now. We're still kind of in that camp mode, just working against each other, trying to get better. So I think after this week, when we come back next week, everybody be able to, reset a little bit and come back with that mentality. It's time to go. So hopefully you'll see that change.
DeAndre, obviously the upgrades on the offensive line will help you, but Ben was saying Friday he really is pleased with your running style and your approach right now. How have you tailored things to fit better in this offense?
Just being real intentional about everything. I ain't really changed too much about myself or how I'm approaching anything myself every single day. Just excited for the new opportunity with the new staff and the new guys we have on this offense. I just approach every single day with the prove it mentality. Just trying to get better at something every single day. with the way Coach EB and Coach Ben and everybody else on the offensive staff is kind of implementing everything, the details and things like that. I just try to be real intentional about everything.
DeAndre,
When
getting
we
back
talk
to,
about embracing Eric Bieniemy's coaching style, in what ways has he made you a better running back so far in your time with him?
He's just very intelligent, very detailed with his teaching, and I wouldn't even say he overcoaches, but he overcoaches kind of thing just to make sure you understand. He's communicating very well. Everything in the offense, whether it's the concepts, and he makes sure you understand everything so you can play faster.
What's he working on with you guys, with the soccer ball drill that we've seen?
Just shuffling your feet. It's a pass pro drill, shuffling your feet, being able to making sure you bending at the knees and things like that. Just a pass pro drill.
First for you seeing a soccer
I
ball?
ain't never seen a soccer ball on the football field. Cool, I guess.
The variety, I mean, does it help at least like kind of break things up, bring something new to your day when you have the monotony of just practice?
To my that specific drill. Yeah, it's something different. But I understand the why behind it. Yeah.
Training camp, throughout training camp, we've heard Ben Johnson talk about, the confidence he has in you and being kind of that prototypical. How do you think you got into the game and what's your comfort level?
I think I'm getting comfortable. I appreciate the kind words from Ben. I'm just trying to continue to grow. He has such a the depth of his offense and mine is very extensive. So just trying to learn all of it, the ins and outs, and just trying to be a key player within that. And I've worked hard the entire camp to be a guy that he can utilize in many different facets. Whether that's outside, inside. We can see DJ taking a couple of reps at running back. So. Might have to get a few of those, but really it's just trying to be available in any way possible to make plays for the team.
Too big to play running back?
Not too big. I don't know. What was Eric Dickerson? He was like 6'4", wasn't he? Shoot, I could do it. Derrick Henry? No, I gotta put on some muscle if I want to get back there, but I could do it.
Seems like the back of the end zone is your sweet spot. Ben's talked about those high back five throws a lot. Like, what about you and Caleb has allowed that chemistry to take place in that specific spot?
I think it's just, continued reps at it, honestly. From the first time that I got here, I would say it wasn't one of our things, you know what I'm saying? Something that is kind of new, that back five is something that, is very specific to NFL football. There's a lot of touchdowns that are caught back there, not like necessarily college, but yeah, so that's something that we just continue to work on, continue to develop in practice, outside of practice, and all that. So really, just something that we've worked at.
There's one during that Kansas City game on the drive before you guys scored, the one that the safety broke up. What was the conversation like with you and Caleb on the sideline? Because from the way he described it, was that I'm going to give Rome a chance there anytime he's back there because he trusts you. Obviously, the defender coming in, but what was your guys' conversation like about that?
Yeah, it was just looking what we were both seeing. There was a safety obviously in that picture, so but there's windows, and he had put it kind of in front of the safety, so I was thinking a little bit more behind the safety a little bit more. So honestly, I appreciate him putting it up there and giving it a shot. I believe that it's going to be me or nobody. So he has that reassurance that I'm not going to let the ball get in the enemy team's hands. So he was able to make a play on that, but of course we want to score the touchdown. So just every look is different, so it's hard to say exactly how it's going to go down, but we have a chemistry to make it work.
Ron, why do you think Caleb is such a polarizing figure? Why do you think there are such a big part of the sports fan population that seems to root against him?
True. I don't know, man. Y'all gonna have to tell me. Y'all write the stories on that boy, so y'all put all the stuff out there for everybody to read. I don't know. I mean, it comes with the number one pick, I would say. And he's himself at the end of the day. When you're the number one pick and you're yourself, you're gonna get a lot of hate. And that, honestly, it's sad to say that, but that's just kind of how the light that we were put in. In Chicago sports, they're very wanting success and having it now, and they expect a lot from all their sports teams. So we're in that light, and you take the good with the bad. So he gets a lot of hate for those reasons, but he comes in, he works hard every single day, and he's himself. So I appreciate him for that, and I think we're gearing up for a good year.
You know him well, and you are behind the scenes with him all the time. I mean, do you think people misunderstand how serious he is about his job?
Yeah, For sure. I mean, if you don't think this guy's putting every single day into this, is his craft and into making this organization better, then I really have no conversation for you, honestly.
How comfortable is this whole group feeling in this new offense? Obviously, we've still seen the pre-snap penalty stuff pop up, and then the last preseason game was a little bumpy at the start. But now heading into the first game week of the season, just how comfortable is this whole group?
We're getting there for sure. I think it's the barn. The hay's not in the barn yet. We still have things to improve on. And like you were saying, those pre-snap penalties and all those different things, we need to erase those completely from our procedure. But we're continuing to improve. I think we're getting to that point of readiness to go out there and play Monday Night Football. Of course, we're not gonna stow it all away until it's really time to go out there and shine. But we're getting there for sure. I think we have improvements to be made, but from where we started, obviously it's a lot of improvement.
Caleb is in trouble, he tends to look. Caleb is in trouble, he tends to look for you. What about y'all's chemistry? What about what you know about him or he knows about you that allows you to stay alive in those moments and get to the space where he needs you to get to when he is in trouble, when he is running around back there?
I think we just kind of connected early in our relationship in that dynamic. I've got to see him in college, so I've seen those plays, and I've got to watch on the sideline. Okay, you can make something happen from wherever on the field. So, I guess kind of in the back of my mind, I know the play's never over, and I just try and find a spot that has some space, has some green grass, and we've obviously found it connected on a couple of those in season. So I think that kind of just builds our chemistry, obviously out here on the practice field as well, and continuing going into this season. So, he makes plays back there. I just try and be an asset for him.
Are there things you do within the scramble drill rules, or just things you do kind of freestyle?
Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely rules that I follow that the coaching staff harps on, and all those things are definitely important. But obviously, there's plays that kind of break down. You just kind of got to be a ball player. So it goes both ways for sure.
We just got the final roster, and Jade made it. Just what has he shown you throughout the camp, and I guess how happy are you for him?
All day, Jade. That's the man. He brings a lot of energy to the organization. Every single day he comes in and works tremendously hard, and he's got that chip on his shoulder. So, he went out there and made plays. Obviously versus the Kansas City Chiefs, offense, special teams, all those different things. So, it's really an awesome story. To be honest, just I got to watch him play a little bit in A&M and all that. So, yeah, man, Jade's the best. He worked very hard to be on the team and continue to be in this league. So I'm looking forward to what he's going to surprise us with next.
Is there anybody else that impressed you in camp, and was there anybody that you hated to see get cut today?
I mean, I hate to see anybody get cut, man. Honestly, those are my teammates. We go through the grind with one another, so it's tough to to swallow any of those occurrences, but at the end of the day, it's the NFL and it is a business, and a lot of those guys are great players. So I know they'll get picked up somewhere, or I'll see them along the journey at some point. But throughout camp, shoot, I mean, I can't name off the top of my head, but I really liked watching Noah play. So actually, I got to watch him play at Oregon, and he was a beast over there. So I feel like he's really kind of stepped into his own this camp. On defense, Chris obviously. Going against Wright was cool. He was at Oregon State. I think I played against him one game when he was at Oregon State. So going against him, a lot of reps this camp was great as well. And he's a big lengthy cornerback, so it was definitely a challenge. But all those guys for sure.
Where do you feel like your game has improved from? Where do you feel like your game has improved most from the beginning of training camp to where you guys are now getting ready to head into the season?
I think I've just I've kind of conformed to the NFL receiver play. Honestly, I think I was a little bit more rugged, kind of in my college wide receiver play, just kind of making plays where I needed to make plays. I obviously had a discipline within route running and different things, but I feel like I've took those things to another notch. Understanding windows, understanding leverages of defenses and cornerbacks and all those different things where safeties are playing. So. I'm just trying to make this response as long as possible because Ali has to write all this up. So. But yeah, all those different things.
Question for you about individual drill that we've seen you guys doing, where you run through and then they throw a bunch of towels in your face. Is that new for you?
Yeah, you like that one?
Well, you tell me. It doesn't really matter if I like it. It's kind of fun to watch, but I don't know. I'm guessing it's meant to simulate hands coming into the ball and
Yeah.
does it work? Does it help?
I think it does. I think it does. I think, distraction drill, you just never know, what's going to be a distraction within your eyesight when you're catching the football. So whether that's D linemen's, hands going up in the air, those six footers on the line, whether it's a DB, putting his hands in your face, so all those things are kind of what we're repping. It's the same thing as like, going behind the bags and catching it with the window. It's all just kind of distractions, kind of getting you ready to, go out there and be ready for anything because you never know how the ball's going to come in. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Will.